All right, welcome to the nationwide auto titling demonstration. Since this is not a live demo, I ask that you write down any questions you may have for me. You can either reply to the email with the link and ask your questions, or you can give me a call when you're done. I'd love to chat about them. So, um, oop, here we go. So, anytime we title into another state, we're going to select Start a New Deal. And it's going to take us over to a map of the United States, which we will need to then select the state that you're going to be titling that vehicle into. So we can't go any further unless we select the state. So that's the first thing we have to do. And then we'll go to the dealership dropdown and select our dealership. Now, TitleTec is a dealership that is hypothetically located in Florida. So if you see Florida on the fee calculations, just ignore that. It's going to be your state. So um, now we do offer full DMS integration, and we can discuss whether that makes sense for you guys or not later on. I can include the DMS pricing also in a summary if you have not already told me who your DMS provider is. If that's the case, you would put in your, let's see, deal number and then select load deal. Now, of course, I don't have a DMS integration, so it's not going to find anything. So I would go down to the VIN number and load that VIN number. It will populate your vehicle type. I will need to select the purchase type though, and we have the option to do cash, finance, or lease. I'm going to select finance, and then also whether or not you want to do a plate transfer. Now, at this point, we can do one of two things. We can do a full deal, which is going to give us those DMV forms, fill them out for us, and it's going to give us a fee calculation, or we can do a fee calculation only. Of course, I'm going to run a full deal. It's totally worth it. And that way you can see it from end to end. But now you're going to get any state-specific notices pop up on the screen at this point. So always be sure to read those thoroughly before continuing on. And then as you can see here, I was previously working a deal, and those deals will pop up from that VIN number. I'm going to go ahead and load this deal from Brad Pitt and let you see that. That way it's just quicker. I won't have to fill it all out. But this just kind of shows you how you can work a previous deal. It's not going to charge you each time. Of course, this has a monthly fee and it's transactional, but that transactional fee is only one time per deal. So don't worry about that if you change something that it's going to charge you each time. That's a very common question. So it's going to take us over to our owner information. Now, anything that you see in red, you need to make sure to fill that out. However, I do suggest that you fill it out as much as possible because everything that you do on the front end is going to help to populate those forms in the end. So the more you fill out in the front, the more the forms are going to be filled out and the less you have to do in the end. So we'd put our first and last name, date of birth, driver's license, all this information. We have our primary mailing and alternate address. And then we can either tab down or continue, or I'm sorry, next. Oop, what just happened? Did not mean to do that, sorry. So then we have our vehicle information. Now, because I loaded that VIN number in the beginning, it did populate onto this page already. So the only thing that I had to choose was going to be my vehicle status, which is required by the state. These are going to range per state. So the fields that you have to fill out do vary. This state wants to know the vehicle use as well, so I selected private. And I did have to populate the vehicle weight and vehicle type, but it did populate the make, year, and the color. Now we can go to our trade-in information. We allow up to 4 trade-ins. If you have more than that, you just need to contact us and we can add them in. And then you'd put your trade-in lien holder as well. We'd put in our purchase information, we'd put in our sales price, whether or not the dealership is shipping the vehicle, any add-ons that you're going to put on, you put in here, any taxable information. Now, this is one of the most important fees on this page, and this is going to be where you can either, cover the transactional cost for your customer and pay that $90.98 per transaction, or you can charge them that transaction back. I know that you can charge these back in every state, but in some states, you are allowed to mark that price up. So you are actually profiting off of each out-of-state deal, which means that it just one out-of-state deal, if you charge $200, will cover your monthly subscription. And then after that, anything is profit. So, but you do have to research if your state does allow that. If not, you can charge back that transactional cost of $90.98. So I'll just do that for now. And then, of course, we would put in zeros if you do not have anything to put in that field, because it is like a calculator. It has to have a number in the field to move forward. All right, so then we have our lien holder information. I put in Bank of America. You would put in all the information required, and you can actually add an additional lien holder as well. And we have our registration information. So again, this is going to vary from state to state, what is required to put in on this page. New York has a little bit more information than others. And then you can put whether you're going to request a paper title. And then if you're going to choose to use a PTA or a private tag agency location, and it will also tell you which ones are available and the cost. Or you can use the DMV location, and it's going to tell you the address. Now, some of them have multiple locations, so you would have a drop down for that as well. But at this point, we have a blue button, so that means we're going to be charged the initial $34.99 to calculate fees. So again, blue buttons mean we're going to be charged. This $90.98 transaction breaks down into two fees. The initial calculating or fee calculator fee of $34.99, and then the DMV forms, which is going to be $55.99. So that totals to $90.98 per transaction. Now, you can go line by line and look at the breakdown of all the fees charged, but the two main things you're going to need to pay attention to is this total taxable amount for New York, and then what you're going to collect from the customer, which is, I went right past it, didn't I? Total amount to collect. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's right here. So this is going to be the total amount to collect from the customer, and that is including our NAT processing fee of $90.98. So it does put that into that price to collect from them. And then you'll see your notices that were in the beginning again on this page, just in case you didn't pay attention in the beginning and you just got click happy. You do have that option to see them again. So again, blue button means we're going to be charged. This is where we're charged the $55.99 for pulling those DMV forms and populating the information that we have in our system into those forms. So it's going to go over to a printable PDF form. And any information we put in, it's going to be on the form. So isn't that beautiful? So it's going to form, or the forms will vary from state to state, but there are several that we put in there that will remain the same. This one's going to tell you to pay close attention to the check payable to section of the forms because failure to complete the paperwork appropriately could result in a delay in processing, which no one wants that. So we have our notice of lien and then yellow signature boxes. This is not in every state, but if it has a yellow signature box, that means that it does require a wet signature. So keep that in mind. And then we have our handy dandy title transfer from out-of-state dealer to New York application checklist. So of course that varies from state, but you do receive the title application checklist with every single deal. Anything that you see in red, that's going to be common mistakes that the dealerships make when sending to the DMV that holds up the deal. So it's going to tell you that information. I chose New York because I feel like New York has the most out of their checklist than I've seen from all the states that I've demoed. So this is our payment information. TitleTec's going to give you the make check payable to section. So that is amazing. It's going to tell you who to make the check out to, where to send it, right here in our mailing instructions. So it tells you the address, it tells you everything you would put your dealership information in this section, and then how you want it shipped. I'm sorry, how you want the license plate shipped as well. So you can either have it sent to the owner or to the dealership, and you'd put that information in right here and then how you want it shipped. That's what I meant. um, and then again, these vary from state to state, and it really shows how it pulls those state specific forms. They're constantly being updated, so we go off a system that is accurate. Our fees are guaranteed. So if for some reason the fees were miscalculated and it was something on our end, we're going to reimburse you those fees and we'll get you the correct one. So this is the NAT deal summary. It's going to summarize everything that we put into the system, always review, and that's about it. So these are just shows you all the different forms for New York. But the beauty of it, basically, you're getting accurate fees to collect from the customer. You know where to send the payment, you know the address, the name, everything. And then you have all those DMV forms that are filled out. Of course, you go in and make sure that any sections that need to be um, filled out are completed before sending. But yeah, if you have any questions, again, please email me or call me. I'd love to discuss this and follow up with you. And I'd like to know what day you want to follow up on. So if you want to send me an email and let me know what day works best for you, that way we can chat about it. I would very much appreciate that. So give me a call or email me. Thank you and have a great day.